Hello, and today I'm going to quickly look over this drop that someone had asked about. So this is the one I did for the sample library stuff I just did, so here's what it sounds like. Yep, there used to be a rise for this, but I never finished it. Yeah. So, this drop has two bass sounds, a sub, lots of percussion, one basically track of mono chords, like that, and then it has a high-pitched lead somewhere to go with the chords to make the chords sound a little less stereo, and then like leave the reverb in the high area so the bass still has tons of room to operate. So the main bass sound is this. So as far as sound design, this is kind of Ableton specific, and the thing I hate the most is making Ableton or like any DAW specific things. So essentially the reason for that is like more control over the OTT, and the vocoder is the thing that like comes to me when I'm making sounds. If I'm doing dubstep sort of things, the vocoder is so valuable. Like, it just adds so much like vowel content, and then if you listen to it without any post-processing, it sounds kind of like silly to me, but I'm sure some people think this sounds great. Like, the sub's probably too loud and stuff, but it doesn't sound terrible, but like the thing is, it's not constructed for it to be straight out of the box like great. So again, this is a pre-calculated triangle wave using like basically mathematics, and then there's some bending going on. I have some sub, some bright white noise, and they're all being controlled by this quarter note oscillator that's shaped like this. There's a high pass thing with some resonance, and it has this extra band here, which isn't like entirely necessary because I'm not using it. Some hyper, no dimension, and distortion, and then there's the compressor going on here. Inside the effect chain I have, there is a Saturn, which does some distortion at 150 and 3K, and I tend not to put the drive more than like 70%, so here they're both on like 50-ish. This is just to kind of like make the bands here a little more crunchy, but I don't want to affect the sub too much because it's going to get cut out. OTT, just to really compress it and make it like loud and like dubstep-y. Vocoder, add some vowels for the dubstep purposes. A multiband to control the bands individually to make sure that there's no popping frequencies anywhere without affecting the rest of the bands, essentially. So this works a little better than a compressor. Or sorry, a standard like one-band glue compressor or something. And then I have a very simple EQ. Getting rid of some of this kind of crunchy stuff. Like that. And there's a gate after some like basically unchanged glue compression, and that's the main sound. And then there's just like a bass line that goes like this. And then I have a part that comes in. And this is controlling a macro to basically move the waveform. And that's what that's about. And then I have a growl. So it's this one. So the post-processing is essentially the exact same on the previous bass. Sounds like this without it. So it goes something like this. This is much more complicated, as stupid as it sounds. The sound was made with the post-processing on, so that's kind of why. So it has some pitch bend. This corresponds to like 19 value in here. So LFO 2, 19 to the master tune, and it's shaped like this on a half note. And then we've got this general automation on a bar, and that goes to 13 different things. I never knew that was there. I have a macro to essentially change some wavetable bending and levels and cut off stuff like this to make it more ridiculous. This LFO though goes to some wavetables, some bending, some mix, cut off of the high pass sort of filter here, and some stuff in here like distortion and hyper and some phasing stuff, all right here. And these are wavetables from a virtual riot pack, because at the time when I made this like a few days ago, I hadn't made any self-made wavetables yet, which I've just started to do. So I cheated or whatever and used some stuff from him. So that's the wavetables, essentially where I got them from, and that's it. As far as the rest of the drop goes, the drums were done with a drum loop that's provided in the pack. Just to show what you could do with it. Processed kind of like this. Some transient master, OTT, some gating. To get any ridiculous like noise coming in after. That's about it there. And then there's a sub. That's the sub, and then we've got some like impacts. So this is going to be a ton of the stuff that's basically included in the pack. And it's all going to sound like this. So it goes like that underneath the drop, basically. So some of these might not actually be in the pack because like, you see 87 and 90. And then if we come look here in my funny percussion, I have a massive list, and I just gave some of them, but there's a whole crap ton of self-made percussions. Yeah, and then the kicks come from something I made the other day. Like these, basically self-made kicks again. And the snares come from some self-made snares I have. And that's the sound design. The basses aren't anything special. They're actually bad. It's just I'm quite sneaky with post-processing that I can make it pretend to be good. But at the core, their sound design is very bad. Like, I will do some better stuff in the future. Like, I'm going to start practicing with presets and stuff and trying to make things sound as good as possible when they come out of the preset, because I would like to share and sell presets or whatever, or even use my own presets and just scroll through a big list of them, and I want them to sound like nice when they come out of the serum, so that way they're like much more universal to what I'm doing here. And that's essentially it here. I don't think I covered anything. Sorry, the chords are not that. I have like a F major. Yeah? No, hang on. F minor, and then I believe this is a yeah, major in the F sharp. So F, basically it's Fs and then F sharp major, F minor, sorry, and then F sharp major, and then we've got at one point over here we go into the G sharp major, and then we go back down to our F sharp and then to the other part. And then the lead just follows basically like just a random tone. And I think that's about it. If you want to look at this, how the sub was designed, the sub is serum, saw, and square waves. And then we have an OTT here, which keeps that buzzing kind of under control, which might not actually be there. Yeah, here we are. So you can hear it still. So the OTT really keeps that like that under control, and then I EQ out any like overtones afterwards and whatnot. And that's about it. Yep. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. There's nothing to say about the second drop. It's just you already have the samples for that. There's nothing special going on. There's like super basic stuff. And then the drums again are used from a drum loop. Yeah, that's it. There's no sorcery here. So, yeah, again, thanks for watching. Peace.